Hi guys, it's Monday for you, Friday for me. I'm sure some of you will take a few minutes to try and figure that one out. Um, Welcome to the second week of remote learning. Um, to start this week, I'm just going to do a quick review about what we did last week and what we're going to do moving forward this week. So last Monday was our first day. We did the introduction to the playlists and how they work. And then you guys created a Google document and gave me some feedback about what you've been up to, keeping yourself safe, and how you've been dealing with not being in school for 2 weeks at that point. On Tuesday, I asked you guys to do a scavenger hunt around your homes and find out some things that you could work with, possible projects, what might you be able to do or not be able to do because of those limitations. And then I asked you to do some feedback on that, which some of you did a really nice job, some of you didn't do anything. So, um, guys, make sure you're keeping up with everything that you're required to do. Wednesday, we did our first virtual class meeting, which went really well. Most of you made it. Some of you made it a little bit late, but it was really great hearing from you. Um, you guys know me pretty well, I think. And the biggest concern that I had in this whole ordeal is that all of you are safe, and you know that. So the virtual class meeting was really good for me to be able to talk to you guys. I got some pretty good insight from you. Um, the idea of possibly picking up projects and taking them home. I reached out to Dr. Mitzel. He said, depending on how long that we're kind of in this remote learning phase, we'll go from there. As of right now, he wants to hold off because there is still hope that we'll end up going back to school somewhere around the beginning of May. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'll let you guys know as soon as I know anything definitively. But as of right now, we won't be going back. But once we get the word that that's the case, then maybe we'll be able to set something up where you guys can come in and pick up some projects, and then maybe you can finish these shaker tables at home because I think many of you are pretty close. Um, with that being said, for those of you who missed the virtual meeting, this is class time, and moving forward, you guys are going to get credit for everything that you do for this. So something as simple as a class meeting, you don't even have to say anything, but you need to be responsible and show up for the time scheduled. If you can't make it during that time, you can log in and you can have a check-in with me during my office hours. We'll talk about that a little bit moving forward, but you guys need to make sure you're making up this time so that I can give you credit as we move forward. On Thursday, you guys spent some time doing some research on some potential projects that you could work on around your house and what you're looking forward to doing and things like that. We had a shared document, which was really nice. Most of you did that. And then I asked you to give a little bit of feedback to some of your classmates, which is great. And we're going to do a little bit more of that moving forward. Friday is going to be catch-up time. Most Fridays will be catch-up. I did sneak the timesheet in on you again. I just need something where I can give you guys some credit for what we're doing. So that's the reason for the timesheet. Nothing more than that. It's very simple. One sentence per week is all I'm looking for. And again, it's just for me to see how you guys are doing, see what we can do to improve moving forward. All right, so looking ahead to what we're going to do this week. Obviously today we're doing this video. There is an assignment and a couple links for you to click on and do. We're going to move the virtual meeting up to Tuesday so we can talk a little bit about how we're going to do this. You know, I told you guys last week you're going to have a lot of freedom as far as finding some projects, and we'll work through those things. But how are we going to communicate that with each other? So that's what I want to talk about on Tuesday. Wednesday, you're going to continue to develop this idea of what you'd like to do for your project. So I'm asking you to identify 3 potential projects that you can do from now till the end of school if we continue doing this remote learning. And then Thursday, you're going to do your timesheet just to reflect on where you're at and what we're doing. And then Friday, you guys are off. That was originally scheduled to be our spring break. And the district has decided to allow us to be off on Friday. It was cut short a little bit, and we'll be back on Monday, but you guys get a 3-day weekend. All right, so loading up the playlist for this week. There are a couple changes on here that I want to point out for you. Guys, keep in mind, these playlists are there for you. It's a guide for you. Most of everything on there are things that I'm doing to help you work through this. See if it loads up so I can show you these things. I have too many apps open. The computer's really slow. All right, so here's this week's playlist. So you can see pretty much at the top, the only thing that has changed is the date. We're now April 6th through April 9th. I added this section in here. This is a resources section. So there's a link here, guys, for your Wood 2 folder. So anything that we've gone over or anything in class that might help you out, you can use as a reference. I put this link in here. This is an email link that goes directly to the tech support guys. So if you're having some Chromebook issue, you can click on that email. And then if you need to go back and work on anything from last week, here's a link to last week's playlist. So that's there for you. Also, so teachers all have office hours. My office hours are Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. I've decided to kind of open it up with the Google Meet. So you don't have to just email me. You can just drop in and chat from 11 to 12, Monday through Friday. Please keep in mind, this is an open time. So anybody can click on this link and drop in and talk to me. All right, so that's there for you if you need to talk to me. If you miss a class, virtual class meeting, this is when you're going to come in. So you're going to be expected to come in and make up that time so that I can touch base with you and make sure that you're on track. All right. Guys, I'm making a lot of Google documents that we can just share and everybody can look at. Please keep in mind, school appropriate. And number 2, these are documents that I've created. So I can see who's doing what on there, who's making edits. So don't go in and change what somebody else is doing. Be respectful of one another. And keep in mind, school appropriate. I can see who's writing what. Okay? So Monday this week, you guys are watching this video. Here's a link to the slideshow. And then just a little bit of this is a Google document also. I want you guys to do a little bit of research on some possibilities for us to use for doing feedback for one another. So if you click on this research share document, I put a couple examples in there for you to get started. I just want you to do some research today on how we can give feedback to one another. And then on Tuesday, we're going to talk about what you guys found on Monday as far as what we can do to communicate with one another as we move into the projects. The majority of this week is going to be spent on Wednesday. You guys are to identify 3 potential projects that you might be able to work through while you are at home. So again, you started this on Thursday of last week, some ideas about what you could do. I want you to identify what problems you may encounter on all 3 projects, and then identify the tools or processes that you will need. Create a Google document, share it with me. All you have to do is create a document in that shared folder that we created at the beginning of the semester. And then, like I said, Thursday will be your catch-up day. Just give me some feedback about how the week went for you. And then Friday, guys, make sure you're taking care of yourself and enjoy your long weekend. Talk to you soon.